What would you do if the love you thought you'd buried in the past suddenly appeared at your wedding with a child who might be yours? In a world built on power, prestige, and perfect appearances, one man's carefully constructed life begins to unravel. Because of a woman he never stopped loving and a boy he never knew existed. This isn't just a story about wealth, it's about truth, regret, and the second chances we don't always deserve, but deeply need. Marcus Berger was a man who had it all. A towering figure in the business world, he wore success like a tailored suit, sharp, pristine, admired. Wealth clung to him like cologne, power flowed through his every gesture, and prestige shadowed him wherever he went. And now he was about to marry Sophia von Wertheim, the elegant daughter of a noble lineage, a woman graced with poise, beauty, and intellect. The city buzzed with excitement over the wedding of the year. The grand cathedral was blanketed in white roses. Orchestras tuned their instruments to perfection, and champagne cascaded through fountains like liquid gold. The air was thick with envy and admiration. But beneath Marcus's polished smile and crisp tuxedo, a storm was quietly building. A decade ago, when ambition was just a seed and not yet a forest, there was Lisa Weber. She had been his first love, his only real anchor during the most uncertain years of his life. They shared nights of cheap coffee and hopeful dreams. She had loved the man with empty pockets, believing in the man he could become. But eventually, Marcus's hunger for success swallowed everything, even her. He told himself it was necessary. She left, or maybe he let her go. Either way, she was gone. Now, on the day the world would cheer for him, Marcus felt a pull from the past. Not a longing, but something darker. He had sent Lisa a wedding invitation, not out of sentiment, but vengeance. A cruel, calculated act to remind her what she had walked away from. He wanted her to witness the man he had become, the empire he had built, and the woman beside him whose name alone carried legacy. In his mind, he replayed the scene countless times. Lisa entering the church, alone and humbled, with regret in her eyes, perhaps even tears. But when she arrived, the image shattered. Lisa stepped out of a modest, weathered car. Her hair was tied back simply, no makeup, no diamonds, just grace. And beside her, in a wheelchair, sat a boy. His quiet gaze met Marcus's across the crowded aisle. In that moment, time slowed. The choir's melody faded. Conversations stilled. Even the clinking glasses of champagne seemed distant. Sophia leaned in with a puzzled frown. "Who is that?" Marcus didn't respond. His throat tightened. The boy's face, a mirror of his own. The same sharp nose, the same deep-set eyes. Marcus's heart pounded. He rose to his feet without thinking. Lisa approached with unshaken calm. "Hello, Marcus," she said, her voice soft yet steady. "This is Emile. Would you like to meet him?" That name, Emile, like a forgotten melody returning in a dream. He looked at the boy again, so small, so curious. A flicker of recognition took root in his chest. Could it be his child? The ceremony proceeded, but Marcus was a ghost on the altar. He spoke vows with absent conviction, kissed Sophia with numb lips. Cameras flashed, guests cheered, but his mind was elsewhere, trapped in that boy's innocent stare. At the reception, while champagne flowed and laughter filled the hall, Marcus watched from a corner. Lisa bent beside Emile, feeding him a bite of cake. They laughed together. It wasn't just maternal care, it was a shared world, a life lived without him. Unable to bear the silence inside him, he walked to Lisa. "Why didn't you tell me?" he asked, his voice cracking. She turned, meeting his eyes not with anger, but exhaustion. "Because when I found out I was pregnant, you were already chasing a life that had no room for me. You talked about freedom, about never being tied down. And when Emil got sick, when he lost the ability to walk, I knew I couldn't add my pain to your ambition." "He's not a burden," Marcus whispered, kneeling slightly as though trying to understand the gravity of his loss. "He's my son." Lisa nodded gently. "Yes, but you never looked back. You didn't call, not once." That truth landed like a blade. All the years he spent building towers, he had ignored the foundation that once held him. He thought success could bury the past, but now the past stood before him, with wheels instead of legs, and eyes that told him everything he needed to know. That night, instead of dancing with Sophia, Marcus sat in his study, lights off, a tablet glowing in the dark. He found Lisa's online profile. A librarian, an author of children's books, dozens of photos of Emil, playing board games, drawing comics, exploring libraries. The boy was imaginative, expressive, and brilliant. Marcus had missed birthdays, scraped knees, bedtime stories. He had missed everything. The next morning, driven by something deeper than guilt, perhaps love, he visited their apartment. The neighborhood was modest, the building plain, but the air felt real. When Emil saw him through the door, he smiled with delight. "You came back," he chirped. "Mama said you're busy with big buildings." Marcus knelt to Emil's eye level, choking back tears. "Not anymore. From now on, I'm here for you." Weeks passed. Marcus became a fixture in their lives. He took Emil to swim therapy, where the boy kicked bravely through the water. He listened to stories about Emil's dream to build a robot that could fly. He heard Lisa laugh again, for the first time in years. The sound was warm, cautious, but real. Sophia soon filed for divorce. Marcus didn't resist. His business colleagues raised eyebrows at his sudden passion for accessible housing and disability rights. Some called him distracted. Others said he had lost his edge. Marcus didn't care. One crisp autumn afternoon, beneath a tree with golden leaves, Marcus sat with Emil on a park bench. Lisa walked to fetch hot chocolate from a nearby stand. Emil turned to him with curiosity. "Are you sad you lost your wife?" he asked. Marcus smiled and brushed a leaf from Emil's hair. "No, buddy. I'm glad I found my family." They sat in silence, the rustle of trees and distant laughter surrounding them. Lisa returned, handing each of them a warm cup, her eyes soft with forgiveness. The past had not been erased, but it had been acknowledged and healed. In that moment, Marcus finally understood what all his wealth could never buy. Not the boardroom, not the applause, not the headlines, but love. Fierce, fragile, forever. And sometimes the road you abandon becomes the only one worth returning to. True fulfillment doesn't lie in success or revenge. It's found in second chances, in forgiveness, and in the quiet bravery to love again. No matter how far we stray, the heart always knows the way home.